What is good, guys? This is how I made $3,900 day trading the NASDAQ this morning, and I I didn't break any rules. I was an emotional trader today, and I could have made a lot more. And you guys in the stream are definitely laughing at me because we came down and hit these London session lows, and I closed like up here. But regardless, I made money for the day, and this was the daily bias. So starting off, we did have PPI news data today. Most of the time, like I say, I usually want to avoid news data unless it causes a big drastic move from the market. Me personally, this up candle right here is relatively drastic. However, the price following it was pretty smooth. And on top of that, this news candle ended up giving us a really awesome setup. And that's what actually formed our daily bias. So we can see we had these London session highs right here. That news data came out. We came up, we swept out London session highs, and then on top of that, we made high time frame bearish SMT. We can see that on ES, we made higher highs, but on NASDAQ, we actually made lower highs on those pre-market highs right there. So with that being said, I scaled down into the lower time frame, obviously waited for New York market to open. During this time, I'm really just looking for any reason for bullish order flow to get invalidated, and then from there I'm looking for an entry on the 1 minute. So for me, I know this was a little bit risky, and again, I should have waited for a 5 minute like continuation confluence, like a order block or a fair value gap, which actually would have given me a far better entry and wouldn't have caused me to panic on stream. But I still got a good entry, and I still was able to fulfill my daily bias, but not hit a full take profit like I would have wanted to, because I was emotional today. I can't lie. But anyways, we see this is market open. We get our first initial move up. We come up. We take out these 5 minute highs. Not that I consider that a liquidity sweep or anything. We just came up and took out those 5 minute highs. Then following that, we see this big down candle right here. And on that big down candle, we make this wick that's pretty much all the way down here. And for me, after seeing that we push so far down towards these lows, yes, we are technically maintaining bullish order flow. But for me, I'm seeing, look, we have this high time frame SMT. I'm bearish down to these data lows and down to these London lows. I'm expecting for price to reverse off of this. So after seeing that, I was like, okay, for me, because we got so low and so close to these lows, and on ES, we can see on that leg down, it was right here. Again, we literally ended up matching, making equal lows on this. It's very clear to me and very apparent that, okay, bullish order flow has broken. We pushed so far down. I have no doubt in my mind, we have this high time frame SMT. We're definitely going to push down off of this. So after seeing that, I just instantly started looking for 1 minute continuation confluences. And for me, that was, so this was that wick on that 5 minute candle that I talked to you guys about. And then boom, the macro opens at 950. We end up coming up, filling in this 1 minute fair value gap, and then boom, we get a candlestick closure to the downside, okay? I enter off that. I put my stops above here. Honestly, this was a bit of a bailout, okay? High key, a bailout. So on my trade locker, oh man, I won't even be able to show you guys because I don't think it shows like previous pending orders on there. But anyways, on my trade locker, I put my stop loss above what this candle's high was. So on stream, I showed like that this was my stop loss. And on my trade locker, I just matched it to the graph. But obviously, different brokers have different prices for like for the indexes, because this is NQ1 from CME. And then for me, I trade on Hero FX and I'm using their prices. So I just put it above what I thought was this candle's high. Technically, I should have been stopped out by this. But it ended up, for whatever reason, having my stop loss above, like pretty much at this price point right here. Anyways, we shit the bed pretty viciously, and I'm thinking, okay, bet, we're going to come down, we're going to take out these data lows, and then we're going to take out these London session lows. Psych would have thought, and this is what I fucked up on, was that, yes, we did break bullish order flow by breaking structure right here, but guess who was the dumbass that didn't wait for a fair value gap entry following that, or an order block entry or a breaker block entry, this guy. And because of that, we see a big retracement on up. We end up filling in this 5-minute fair value gap that would have given me a far, or I already marked it out. Oops, no I didn't. That would have given me a far better risk to reward and would have caused me little to no panic of me seeing price dump down and getting super lit, seeing, okay, we're going to take out these data lows and then these London session lows. Seeing it reverse, and I still have my stop loss up here. I didn't move my stop loss to break even because I only had one take profit for the day. If I had just waited and then waited for price to push into that 5-minute order block and 5-minute fair value gap, and then just plain and simple enter off of this inverse fair value gap, boom, not only am I getting a far better entry, but I'm also getting a way, way better risk to reward. And that's what I fucked up on today. But luckily, I still made money. Now, following all of this, as you guys know on stream, I was tweaking and geeking. Price ended up going down, but we came down. This was where I was emotional. Price came down. We took out these data lows, and then I start panicking because we start invalidating 1-minute structure to the upside. Obviously, we were still maintaining 5-minute bearish order flow, but for me, I'm seeing this on the 1-minute. I'm like, fuck, we took out data lows, and that's a draw on liquidity, and I didn't take any profit, and this was an emotional roller coaster for me. I see price come down, barely missed my first take profit, which was these lows, and then boom, we whipsaw back up, and I see this, and I'm like, fuck that. I'm not willing. First of all, this was at like 10:30. I'm not willing to be stuck in more drawdown than I just was, and on top of that, I've been in this trade for far longer than I wanted to. So, yes, I did break my rules, and I ended up exiting pretty much like right here. And then what do you know? Price ends up just going down and hitting my take profit. So instead of getting a 1-to-2 risk reward ratio, I pretty much got a 1 to 0.95, which is unfortunate. I was just thrown for an emotional roller coaster. Honestly, I shouldn't have even been trading today because of the news and shit that I got yesterday about a bunch of bullshit. I might make a YouTube video on it. Whatever, just pay attention to my TikTok and my Instagram. I'll definitely make a video on it today after I talk to a bunch of people about some shit. But that's besides the point. For this trade today, I made a lot less than I could have. I could have made far more. And yeah, my main targets were these data lows, these London session lows, and this hourly imbalance. And all of those got hit. So guess what? My bias was completely on point. I was super right, but I did break I broke 2 rules today. I broke the rule of waiting for a 5-minute retrace into a 5-minute confluence. And then on top of that, I broke my rule of waiting until take profit or stop loss gets hit. And I panicked after we saw this go up. So, hey man, just goes to show that, no matter how much time and experience you have in the markets, we still have days like this that you start freaking out and you end up breaking your rules. It happens, but the biggest thing is noticing these issues, noticing these mistakes, and trying to make sure you never make those ever again. ES was a similar situation. We very well could have had an entry on here. Honestly, I should have taken the trade on ES. I should have taken the trade on ES because this was the high time frame SMT. But anyways, it was a similar situation. We see, okay, we break bullish order flow on the 5-minute. Definitely should have waited for 5-minute continuation confluence, like fair value gap, like an order block that I marked out with this blue line. And then from there, ideal entry on ES would have been probably on this candle right here, because this is still respecting that fair value gap before it turned into an inverse. So this would have been the trade on ES. First take profit would be at the data lows. Second take profit would be at the London lows, and then We did have a big ass imbalance all the way down here, but I probably, or no, not probably, I wouldn't have targeted that if I did end up taking a trade on ES. So this was the ideal trade on ES. The ideal trade on NASDAQ we already showed would have been up here after getting that 5-minute retrace. But yeah, today was a pretty poorly executed day for me. I can't lie. On any other day, you know, if price action doesn't move in my favor. And also, like, keep in mind, I should have been stopped out from this trade. Just being 1,000,000% honest with you guys. I should have been stopped out on this trade. And like literally just luckily for me, my broker's price of NASDAQ was different and the candlesticks looked different on the trade locker chart. So in turn, this shit looked a lot, or it just played out in my favor. So made a couple mistakes today. And also got lucky on the stop loss being placed where it was. If not, I would have been stopped out. But I also made money. My overall bias was correct. Goes to show, stop trading with your emotions. Also, follow your fucking trading plan. And yeah, from there, you guys should be set. So with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys want to watch me go over all of this live every single morning, I stream on Kick every single morning. There's going to be a link in the description where you guys can tune in, watch me live stream all of this stuff, mark out all of these confluences. So go watch that, okay? I go live every single morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time to go over the markets. All right, with that being said, I love you guys. Peace out.